Hello and welcome, family, to another episode of Wake Up Africa. My name is Dr. Mumbi Saraki. How you doing? How's everything going? I really do pray that you are well in all your ways, family, and that you're moving into living life truly on your own terms. It's a new day. It's a new day. It's a new day in Africa, family. It's a brand new day. It's not business as usual on the motherland, and we are a new breed of African that they have never seen. Their ancestors never saw us, the likes of us. We were long gone before they came. And now we're back. But those are stories for other days. Special shout out to our Patreon family. We appreciate, love you so much just for supporting us on that platform. So family, yesterday was actually Africa Day. Although, to be honest, I don't believe in all this Africa Day, Mother's Day, Father's Day. It's just like another compartmentalization of life to diminish. I feel it actually diminishes the role. If you're celebrating your mother or your father one day of the year, and yet you should honor them every single day. And I think, it removes from that another psyop from Babylon. But those are stories for other days. I mean, the May 25th is actually the day that the original Organization of African Union was created. I should probably do a show. I was going to say a huge show, probably, on just the power that the Organization of African Union had and how Babylon came in, the Westerners came in and reduced the influence, power, and everything of the Organization of African Union to African Union. I think it was actually the Organization of African Unity to the African Union. And so every 25th, we celebrate Africa Day. And you know what? The reason I'm saying it's not business as usual on the African continent is we've all been seeing as Mali fights for, it's almost like it's fighting for its whole adulthood, fights for independence all over again, and tries to fight off the manipulation, the narcissistic gaslighting and all this stuff that France has been doing since they declared that they want to chart their own destiny. And this is so beautiful. So in solidarity with our Western African brothers and sisters, the South African EFF party actually protested. I shouldn't even say that. South Africans themselves protested against France. And look how many they are, family. This wasn't a 10, 20 people thing. This was hundreds deep. And they actually walked all the way, family, to the French embassy in Pretoria, and even chanted until the French ambassador had to come out and they were read their rights. And just to even calm down the crowd, the ambassador, I think she's called Leche Valier or something like that, she said, France today is a partner and friend of Africa. We stand for an independent Africa, and we want to strengthen our bond with Africa as, I think it's a she, I'm not sure, he or she, whatever, also promised to take the concerns of the South African protesters to France. I love it. As in, they put so much pressure on this woman that she actually had to come out and be like, yo, we're your friends, man. We ain't your enemies. But it also shows you how the liberation of Francophone Afrique has captured the imagination of Africans absolutely everywhere. Excuse the wind in the background, family. I had to get this story out. And so, there was a lot. Malema was there, of course, and he said, France continues to maintain strong and intimidating military bases in almost all African countries they had colonial control over. And he was basically saying that it's time that France left Africa. France must leave. I think if you look at what France 24 was saying, that they were saying F, France, F off. And all this stuff. And of course, just, just the solidarity of South Africa with our Western African brothers and sisters. made me feel so emotional. And I know a lot of you are wondering, why would they pick on freaking, why would they pick on France and not the divided kingdom, not, Germany and all these other countries? Why go specifically for the balls of France? And basically what they were saying is that France, it's Africa Day. We know that Africa was colonized. There's only one country on the continent that was not colonized, and that is Ethiopia. France still has its dirty little fingers deeply stuck in its former French colonies. And they said, France must pay reparations for its colonial crimes. And French colonialism in the African continent continues to be the most brutal, cruel, and devilish form of colonialism in the African continent. We, as a generation of freedom fighters, reject. Yeah, I'm even putting myself in this, man. And condemn absolutely the fact that decades after the declaration of so-called independence of former colonized territories, colonizers continue to maintain a colonial and neo-colonial relationship with African countries which are supposed to be free from colonial control. And the thing that Mali has done is it has captivated the attention. Though this whole Mali France situation, and then Mali kicks out France, then France says you shall pay, and then there's a coup in France by unknown Western powers. I mean, everyone's watching this like it's a freaking movie. And I think this is a major wake-up call, because this has developed a lot of debate and discussions, especially in, among the French-speaking African nations, where the group consciousness has changed because people have accepted, man, we really don't have power to do as we like, to do as we please, to do the best thing for our people. Because you see, for so long, the curriculum of our children has taught how we were weak and we were saved by Babylon. Then we changed our religion to Mzungu Jesus. All this stuff, family. It shows you how important the narrative is. And for such a massive, shout out to the EFF. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. Seriously, you're setting the tone. And the reason I'm even sharing this story, family, is because, by the way, there's a lot of buzz around Africa Day. It's been trending across Africa. People saying all kinds of beautiful things. Many wore their traditional African outfits. There was a lot going on yesterday. But to see the energy of our South African brothers and sisters going out on those streets, hundreds deep, family, to stand in solidarity with our West African brothers and sisters, that is an energetic shift. That is a powerful energetic shift, because we keep talking about how our unity, through unity, is where we will find our liberation. So the fact that South Africa has stood in solidarity with West Africa already means that those links are coming. Those links are coming together, and we are going to shortly witness the beginning of our third and ultimate liberation. The Haile Selassie's generation, the Nkrumah's generation, the Patrice Lumumba's generation, they fought in the first liberation, where they liberated Africa from the physical, as in terms of land, in terms of physical occupation of Babylon. But they never addressed the mental. They felt that would be for future generations. Then the second liberation, instead of it being about releasing our people mentally and spiritually, it came about us fighting the dictators and the puppets of the neo-colonial system. So we found ourselves now fighting the neo-colonial system, which was in our Oreo and coconut brothers and sisters. And we are still fighting that till this day, because we get rid of one puppet, they bring another one. Just like the way they're trying to insist and push democracy in Mali. We must have elections so that they can bring in their person, because things aren't going well for them. But we are the ones who are fighting for that third and ultimate liberation. And that is a spiritual revival, family. A spiritual revival that will spill into a total change of society. So that's why there's someone who wrote to me about how, they were holding a meeting or with the African Union to try and find, with the African Union and the United Nations to try and find solutions for Africa. That's not the way, As we celebrate Africa, I think we have to come to the terms with the fact that we've never been free. And that there is a revival that will sweep this nation, but the only way we can liberate ourselves is to totally allow Babylon to fall. It's been decreed in the spirituals, in the heavenlies, let me say that. It's already happened spiritually. The narrative is collapsing mentally right before our eyes. So let Babylon fall. Don't be too attached to Babylon. And what we saw with the EFF is going to become the order of the day. Because this third liberation is happening within our lifetimes, family. And we're going to see soon and very soon, the order of the day will be, if Mali has an issue, the youth are on the streets in like 40 African countries in solidarity. They're going to the embassies of those countries like, yo, let our people go. EFF, man, always setting the tone. And it's funny because of how France tried to label it and tried to like manipulate the story, which shows you the importance of the narrative, because France was like far left South African political party. Like this wasn't a South African protest, it was these little group, far left protest against France and say France must leave Africa. Then they're the ones who were like, part of the slogans were F off France. And then they talked of Malema as this, political genius who's a political theatrics, who's known for his political theatrics, trying to frame and dilute what can't be stopped, family. That revolution spirit is going to happen across Africa. And this lets me know that the whole of the motherland is paying attention to Mali. For South Africa to even get this emotional, because Malema is a political genius. And for him to focus on France in this season, for this Africa Day, which has also made them go viral, it's because that's the biggest talking point, right? Whether it's English speaking, French speaking, Portuguese speaking, Africa is watching France, and the narrative is rapidly changing. What an amazing time to be alive. And what an amazing commemoration, because I think we're either at 59 years or something of the Organization of African Union's memorial. Because really, when the African Union was born, the Organization of African Unity died. And that's where we need to get back to, the Organization for African Unity. Until next time, family, happy Africa Day. Tuko pamoja.